Good morning, World Fam, and welcome to episode 2 of Building Sustainable Wealth. I'm actually really excited to be doing this, and thank you for coming along with us. If you're watching this episode, it tells me one thing that you enjoyed the first episode. So thank you for coming. So the tea is I had thought that I would drop a new episode every other week, but man, capitalism is choking. But I promise after this episode, I will try to keep to a once in 2 week schedule. But anyway, let's get right into what we're learning together today. In the last episode, we had talked about the foundational hack that needs to be at the beginning of your wealth journey, which is really not telling the whole world how much you make or how much you earn. Now, on top of that foundation, there are other habits that you need to then have as day to day habits as you go into your investment journey. So, today I'm going to be sharing 5 day-to-day financial habits that help you to build sustainable wealth. And I'm going to try to also order them in order of importance, meaning that the fifth habit, I think, is the most important one. So come with us and let's see what we learn today. The first habit is really to try as much as possible not to borrow. And I say this with empathy and grace, and that's why I say as much as possible. And it just really means that don't borrow just for the fun of it. Don't borrow for something that is not an emergency. Don't borrow for something that is frivolous, especially if it's not for business. If it's for business, we can understand that businesses need loans to grow and they could make sense for businesses. But for personal use, don't borrow to buy the latest bone straight hair. Don't borrow to buy the latest PS5 game. Borrow for only when it's very important. If you live abroad where there's credit, there's mortgages, there's all of those things, it's good to use credit. In fact, it helps to build your credit score, and there are so many other benefits that come with using credit cards. But I think the hack is also just to use them smartly, so much that you get the benefits, but you don't overwhelm yourself with debts more than you can handle. So, of course, we can do a deep dive on that afterwards, but the point is really borrow only when it's important. And I'll just run quickly to the second point. The second point is that if you have dependents who are solely dependent on you, it could be your parents, it could be your younger ones, it could really be any kind of dependents who are fully dependent on you. It makes sense to place them on a monthly salary instead of waiting for them to ask you for money. So if you place them on a monthly salary, it means that at the end of the month, they receive a certain amount. And then within the month, if they have any other need, you just tell them to wait until the end of the month. Let them know that this is money that they will get once in a month. So you also help them build discipline. And another advice that I give is if you just got a new job and you're starting this out, make sure you start with a small amount. Don't start with a big amount that you will then struggle to keep up with. So if you start with a small amount, then if you feel comfortable, you can then increase it over time. But it helps you to build structure into your spending and avoid occasional random your dependents asking you for money. The third point is to automate both your savings and your spending. So you earn, I don't know, maybe let's say for example you earn 300K, and your plan is that out of that 300K every month you want to save or invest 100K. Don't wait until when they pay you every month and then you'll be doing transfer. Just set an auto debit on your account that says on the 30th of every month transfer 100K to this account. And the same way you automate your savings, you can also automate some of your spending. So the ones that are fixed, for example, your dependents that you pay a certain amount, you can also automate it so it goes out at the last day of every month. So the reason why that is good is even if you forgot or you were sick or something, those things continue to happen and your wealth is getting built one way or another. Right? So that's a fantastic way to also build good financial habits. And number four is to learn to say no. Learning to say no is very, it can be very dicey, but I promise you, you need it and you need to learn it. And there are two dimensions to it. First dimension is people asking you for money to help them. for whatever things it is. People are going to always ask you for money, but people's emergency doesn't have to always be your emergency. When it's reasonable and you have it, you give them. But when you don't have it, don't go and break your investments because somebody asked you for money for so and so. Especially when you know that this is not a genuine emergency, this is some frivolous stuff. Tell them you don't have. And the other dimension of saying no is when people want you to hang out. Oh, there's a new restaurant in town. Or it's Friday evening. Oh, come, let's go. You tell them you don't feel like going. You will not die. And I always like to say, one thing with learning to say no is that practice actually makes perfect. When you start saying no the first month, the second time, over time you will see that you didn't die and you will get better at saying no. So please learn to say no. People's emergencies doesn't have to be your emergency. And that takes me to the final point, which is very similar to all of the others, or it's not similar to the other, it binds all of them together. The final point is to have a budget for everything. And when I say everything, I mean every damn thing to the last T, including and especially enjoyment. Yes, have a budget for enjoyment. The reason you need to have a budget for everything is your salary or your, depending on what business you do, your earning is fixed every month. So it makes sense to have a fixed amount that you spend on all of the things that you know that you have to spend money on every month. So for example, back to our 300K salary, you already say that you have a budget for savings, so 100K. Your budget for groceries, what you spend, buy food, whatever around the house is 50K. Your budget for your dependents, maybe it's another 50K. Your budget for, let's get back to the budget for enjoyment. Please have a budget for enjoyment. You're the one who works to earn this money. You deserve to enjoy it. And budget for enjoyment, let me hold you by the hand and tell you this. Budget for enjoyment is no money you use to buy food in the house. Budget for enjoyment is you take yourself on a solo spa date. Budget for enjoyment is you buy yourself, I don't know, it could be order out or one day instead of cooking, or go to a fine dining restaurant. There was a time I had a friend, we used to go to a fine dining restaurant once a month. So we used to go to a restaurant hopping. It just what and having a budget for enjoyment does for you is you feel good enjoying the money that you work for. And it creates a sense of fulfillment, I promise you. So when you have a budget for everything, all of this will be not fixed amount, but percentage of your salary. It helps you to have structure. It helps you to even know where your money is going. And you need to track this, maybe in a spreadsheet or something like that. I have a template that I use to break down um, how I spend or intend to spend my salary. And that template, of course, I can share with you. In fact, for the next episode, what I think we will do is to go through that template. I will do a video where I explain how I use it and how you can also customize it for your personal use. But I believe that having a budget for everything is the hack that helps you to really, really know where your money is going and build wealth that is sustainable in the long term. So that is it for today. So tell us in the comments, is there any of these habits that you currently use and how have they worked for you? And what are the other habits that you use that we did not talk about? You remember I said we're here to learn together. So please don't hoard your knowledge. Share with us what you do, how you spend your money, how you manage your money. Share with us in the comments and we can all learn together. So thank you for coming with me on today's episode and join us again next week for another interesting edition or on the next episode, whatever. But yeah, thank you for coming with me and see you next time. Bye and have a Merry Christmas.